Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. So I hope this finds you well so we can start working with knees. So yesterday because I left myself, my personality to be able to connect with my higher self, Gan. I stopped being headache at that moment. There was nothing hurting at all. I was really fine, really well. But I had so much energy that I couldn't sleep until 4 a.m. So that's what happened. So I will try not to be constantly in my I am, because otherwise I won't be able to sleep. So for those who maybe it was the first time, yes, what I just did was to let my personality aside so my higher self could speak. And yes, my higher self is very strict and direct. It goes to the point and and doesn't care about pedagogy or whatever. So you already know that if I am feeling weird or sad or tired or whatever, I will just um, let my higher self to speak. And so if you see me very very serious, and so it's my higher self. So today we go to the work to work with the knees, and knees are related to mom and dad. So some people were asking also what this means, and this means I am. That's all it means. Um, it basically is Spanish, yo soy, which is one Y here, the O, the S in the middle, the other O, and the other Y going down. So that's yo soy, and this represents the spinning of the cycles, Earth, everything. Then the two circles is the vesica piscis, which is the two cells dividing, the meiosis process of the creation of a being, and in the middle is created the DNA, of course, the library of our life. And also it has the spiral, the auric spiral, up and down, and it represents the positive and the negative energies creating everything. So if you ask who did it, I did it, I created, I drew it, and then the designer, Albert, he did it more properly and beautiful. And then someone did it here in Egypt, handmade. So let's go to our thing today. So mom and dad. Let's remember that mom and dad are two ways that comes from the words mother and father. The origin word of mother is matrix, because matrix means womb, uterus. So the matrix is that thing that surrounds us. It's the womb where we are being created. Okay, so the word mother talks about the matrix, which is the womb that gestates ourselves. And in the other hand, father comes from the Latin word pater, that means pattern. Okay, so pattern. Pattern means law. It means the path you have to follow. So we could say that we can relate mother with the sphere and the circle. The mother is the sphere and the circle, and the father is the line and the path. So when we are being created, we are in the womb, inside a womb, and then when we are going to be born, we follow a path towards light. So that's why we relate also the mother with the darkness in the womb and the father with the light ahead. So as always, you may see that that all the aspects that we talk about are biological, because biology is the transcription of how the cosmos works. The reason why we go always to biology to understand things is because it's not because biology is the explanation to everything and the spiritual is not. Okay, the reason is because biology has been the tool, has been the expression, the creation of the spiritual world in order to understand itself. So this is why we should not think of biology as the origin of all our things, but biology as the way in which we can understand the spiritual world, because the spiritual world has projected itself into biology in order to be able to experience itself. So this is why, to understand how the universe in the spiritual realms works, we have first to understand biology. Let's picture this, that we can talk about the universe like this void where everything is born from. So the void of the universe is like this matrix, like the womb, where everything is gestated. So from this womb, all the energy goes to the center, to the core, and creates the everything. And the everything will look for a direction in order to express itself, so it could manifest a reality, so it could experience a reality. Imagine this, that the cosmos, the void, is like a sphere, and this sphere is neutral, is not moving, is void. So it's making a lot of pressure to the center, sending vibes into the core. So the core starts to vibrate so hard that it creates energy, expanding towards the outside in different directions, creating the everything. When you have the whole, the void, okay, the sphere, you can picture that everything is inside of it. So the sphere of nothing, the sphere of void, is the one allowing the everything to exist. So that's why we call it the matrix, because it's the womb creating the everything inside. And then the everything is called the pattern, because the everything expands in different directions that shows the different path that you have to take to experience the everything. And those paths are called the laws. So the laws, the universal laws, are those patterns that you have to follow in order to understand the everything within the void that is the matrix. So the cosmos start to beat like the heartbeat, and will create a rhythm by a pulse. So this is like the rhythm of a music. So this pulse constantly will create different ways in which the cosmos can create and expand. So, tum, 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 like the heartbeat. So in each one of these heartbeats, the universe can experience itself being created and being guided towards a new creation. From the point of view of vibration, we call this process like the pulse or the rhythm. This is a constant pulse. From the point of view of energy, we call that balance, which would be positive and negative, positive and negative. And from the point of view of matter, we call it fractals. So remember that fractalization means basically to repeat the same pattern once and again, dividing the main pattern towards the inside or towards the outside. So that's how we came up with the concept of the universe, that's a macrocosmos and the microcosmos. By fractalization, what we can acknowledge is that the cosmos, the universe, is constantly repeating the same pattern of creation and law, creation and law, creation and law. And these two patterns, these two concepts that are repeating constantly, will be projected into everything that the universe is creating. Okay? So that's the fractalization. So through this process, the universe has found a way through biology in which it can express and create in billions and thousands of different ways of laws and creation. So this is why the closest concept that any living being in matter can have from the very origin of the universe is from the void and the everything is mom and dad. We usually, when we start this path of consciousness and spirituality, we try to reach the origin, the source of everything in the cosmos, the father that shows us the laws of the universe and so on and so far away. And suddenly the universe says, no. The shortest way to get there, to get to the source of the universe, is mommy. And the shorter way to get to the laws of the universe is daddy. Don't put any excuses in this. It doesn't matter if you have no idea who are your parents, if they have died, it doesn't matter. They exist because you are born because they exist. We usually say, what happens if I don't find my dad, my mom, or if I don't have them? Well, let's try to picture this. What am I? I am not a different being. I am not a different individual apart from mom and dad, because the universe is a fractal. The law is fractalization. So this means that I am a part of them. And why is that? Because the only reason why I exist is because there was a cell with the genetical information of my dad and a cell with the genetical information of my mom that we call egg or ovulus and the spermatozoid that got together and they created this. And suddenly both of them, being one, did tuck and created 2 and 4 and 8, 16 and so on. From one concept, it created my body. So it means that I am my dad and my mom. So if you are not able to see them, to touch them, just watch yourself in the mirror. And there you have. So here is when I start to become responsible. What I was writing today. Sorry, but I I'm nervous about the hair because my guides told me to let it long during this process for something of energy. I don't know what. And I can't stand it. I want to cut it down. I want to cut it, but they say no, no, hold it until it ends. So, in the path that we take of spirituality, I'm related with this image that I wrote today in the blog. Um, we have been living a life through the fields, through the mountains, and when we start in the material world, but when we start the spiritual life, and when we start the conscious life, suddenly we start to get inside the sea, into the ocean of subconscious, unconscious, and conscious. So we start to swim because it's like the waves are flowing when the other one was the structure in earth. So the water is like flowing. So picture this image that all you have in your life, all you are in your life, has been something that you have taken from your parents, from mom and dad. And all those things that you inherit from them, they are tools to survive in life. So in such a way, what your parents are doing to you is give you the tools to survive in the path of life. What we call kind of a shield. Okay, this is your shield, this is your sword. So those are the things that they give you in order to protect yourself in life. But what happened when you have all this structure like the Middle Ages to protect yourself in life? When you are walking in land, is fine. But when you start to swim in the ocean, you just sink very deep in the ocean. When you are sinking in the ocean, suddenly you realize that, oh, I'm sinking because I I I have all this weight, and all this weight is because of my mom and dad. So I have to get rid of this. I have to set myself free. And for sure you have noticed that in every therapy, psychological or energetical, you always come back to mom and dad. Everything takes you to the family. Everything is like, I don't want to keep doing the same things as my mom, my dad. I want to set myself free. Oh, this is a karma from my mom's side, whatever. We all say that. So when you realize about this, when you acknowledge that you have all this weight, you start to try to let all this weight out, set yourself free from that. But basically, all those things that you have, they are the tools for you to survive in life. They gave you everything that they could give you so you could go through life, to survive, to fight for whatever you want in life. But the thing is that suddenly you change the place, you go into the ocean. So the same tools that you were using to fight life in the ground, they are heavy, they are not useful. So the question would be, are my parents guilty for the tools that I have? Or the problem is that I just change the environment and the ground I am walking? So here you find the paradox of this, that you are escaping from two fractals, from mom and dad, trying to cross the ocean of consciousness to reach the other shore, to find yourself with another mom and another dad. The mom you call Gaia, the earth, and the dad you call the cosmos, the heavens. And suddenly you realize, but it's the same, because these two are fractals from those two. And here is when you just recognize this, that the way in which I project the expectation towards Mother Earth and Father Heaven is the same thing that we have felt for mom and dad. So if mom and dad are just a fractal of the universe, my conflict is not just with mom and dad. My conflict will be with the matrix and the patterns. So the only way I can reach the core of the universe is if instead of running towards the ocean, what I do is to turn back, watch my mom and dad, and honor them. They used to say, you will honor your mother and father. And it's not just a cultural thing, it's a cosmic thing. So this is why it's gonna be impossible for us to build a balanced world in the future between heaven and earth if first we don't just do the same thing with mom and dad. So now the question would be, how do I honor mom and dad? So the way you honor them is by recognizing that mom and dad gave you their energy, they gave you your information, they gave you their energy, they gave you their information. So you have inside of you all the energy of your mom and dad. So you have both of them here and now in your body. So the way you honor them is to use those tools, becoming yourself your mom and dad, and not blaming them for anything outside, but to take responsibility of your life right now. I know that sometimes when I explain this, that when I say this, it seems like I'm speaking about good things, that they give us good things, but no, not usually they give good things. Most of them give bad things to us, but they are tools. So just as an example, maybe my dad gave me a tool that is a hammer. So I have a hammer, okay? No, I don't have a hammer. But with this hammer, my dad maybe hit me in my head, in my hands, in my back. He used the hammer to hurt me. But later, my dad has passed away. So now I have the hammer. What am I gonna do with the hammer? Am I going to hit everyone in the head with the hammer, or I will try to learn how to use it? I will try to learn how to nail, how to build a house, how to use it for a useful thing. So what it is to honor your parents is not to do exactly the same as they have done, and the mandates that they said, um, like you have to do this, you have to become this, and the way you will honor them is by doing that. No, that's not honoring. Honoring is to recognize that the things that they gave to you were the things that they only had to give you. They had no better to give. They had no idea what to give you. Those are the only things they knew that they thought that would be good for them. When you recognize that, you honor them by accepting what you have received from them, acknowledging that that's the only thing that they were able to give you. And with that, you will build a new thing. Remember, the reason why you are honoring them in your life, in the present, even if they are not there, is by doing with that energy a new thing. By doing a new thing, remember, in your body, you are made up with them. This is your mom and your dad. So by doing the action of that, you are honoring them because you are allowing them to transcend themselves. So this is why and how, by actions, you can transform your parents. And pay attention to this. I never said you have to go to your parents, you have to hug them and talk to them. No. It's all by yourself. So also acknowledge that the first thing you have to work with is the biological one. And maybe you have been, I don't know, how do you say it? Orphan? Yes, you have been left. No parents, no idea about them. You have been adopted. But there you have a lot of things to work with. Even if you don't know them, you know that they give you away. So how do you feel about that? They're working with you. You have been given. So how do you feel? Is the cosmos leaving you? How do you feel the earth is leaving you? How it is? How do you feel that? Not being accepted, given away. That's a lot to work about your relationship with parents. And then, in the emotional level, the adopted parents and anyone that you can relate with patterns and matrix in your life, they will be also parents. So it doesn't matter if they are not biological. They could be anything. And another thing is that even after all this work that we are going to do with the planet, with society, with everything, healings, whatever we are trying to do to transcend anything, to save the world, whatever. After all that, we will be always children and parents. So this is a constant in the universe. That's all that exists. So this is why, even if we have done so many things and so different things for the cosmos in our life, we will always work with the concept of mom and dad. And the reason why is basically because mom and dad are the matrix and the pattern, the everything and the void. And if you don't have kids, doesn't matter. It's just another path. Maybe you will have a project or something. Let's go to the information for today. The vibration for today is Fu. The statement for today is I am the flux of time. The code for today is sextet. It says, all being made by these elements has 6 attributes that make it an entity. These 6 are the trine bases of the positive and negative paths. The way to see them is as 2 combined tetrahedrons, a Merkaba. Pointing up is the positive energy, with its 3 attributes as base that help anchoring: sound, light, and shape. While pointing down is the negative, with its trine base towards the heavens, attributes that help awakening from density: will, wisdom, and love. Let's go to the alignment. We sit comfortable, start to stretch the body, yawn. As I relax the body, I let all the weight fall down. I focus in my breathing. As I breathe, I feel the air going to each organ until I feel them soft, becoming like wind inside of my body. I perceive the air and wind in the outside. It connects with the wind within my body. I try to feel myself soft and light, like a feather. I feel the energy of my soul beginning to spin with the wind inside my body. All the colors of the energy starts to go outside through the skin, expanding to the wind around, spinning like a twister. With rainbow colors. put my hands at the height of my heart, facing to the sky, feeling the energy of the I am, the sun. Take a deep breath, bring in the energy of the I am and its light through my crown, the third eye, throat, heart, plexus, sacrum, root, and anchoring in your knees. With a beautiful color, magenta. Imagine two rays of light coming from your knees towards your hands, filling up your hands with this beautiful light. That holds the vibration of the I am and your soul. In one of my hands, I find my mom. In the other one, I find my dad. My mom represents the matrix, the negative, the creator, the generator of realities. And my dad represents the pattern, the law, the positive, the destiny and guidance. Both of them have given to me all as they could in order for me to be who I am right now, here and now. This is why all the things that the universe has done through time and space joins now in me, here and now. I take my hands to my heart, taking a deep breath, uniting my mom and my dad within me. I am father and mother. I am mom and dad. I am the everything and the nothing. I am the matrix and the pattern. I am the result here in space of my history through time. Take a deep breath and unify both of them with the vibration. flux of time. I am the flux of time. I am the flux of time. And take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and start to take this information through all the body by caressing, massaging, stretching. Opening your eyes here and now. So, even if we are in this month working with the creative process and trying to draw all what we feel, as an advice, I would tell to you that maybe it's good that when you do the process and understood most of the things that we have spoken today, if you have your parents, just try to take a tiny conversation, maybe about your childhood when you were born. So without the need to go very deep in the conversation, if you are aware of what you are doing, those kind of conversations helps you to balance a lot of information from them within you. Nothing else to say, so thank you everybody, and see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye.